Hello, everyone. So I got a feedback. I need a little bit slow down. I'm explaining too quick. Like you watched my previous videos, but not all of you watched my previous videos. I will slowly explain you some points which is critical. What we are doing. One of the first things I usually explain to my students, and even the kids can get it. So I hope you too. Is Most of the people are looking for mistakes on the chessboard with the engine, with the coaches, with the by themselves, or worse of it, not looking for mistakes, not analyze, don't check what are they doing right and what they do wrong. And the problem of this approach, like all of your mistakes come not from the chessboard. Chessboard is not responsible for your mistakes. Your thoughts process is responsible for your mistakes. I want to make it very clearly because the tendency to analyze briefly with the engine is just insane. Like nearly 99 and 9, I guess, do that, and this is just nonsense. One problem is you don't understand the root of your mistakes. Second problem is like you still improving in chess, even if you just check with the engine, you still play slightly better, even if you don't understand things. But you are not improving your life at all, because all the mental mistakes you correct in chess, you correct in your life, which is absolutely priceless. Okay, this is one point, and I will share you one point at one time, not many. What is also I'm trying to explain people what is the scanning. Like scanning is the technique which helps you to see invisible things which only computer can see. And basically, why we don't see it? Because we don't see one piece over another piece. An example, like we don't see rook on f4, we don't see rook on a7, we don't see rook on c4, we don't see all the file all the way down, like we don't see rook on a8. If the file are blockaded, like we cannot see rook on h4 here because it's blockaded by the pawn and the king and the rook. So because our brain doesn't see situations when there is some object, we train ourselves to unlock, to see it, all the files, yeah, all the way down to our target. And by the way, the starting point again is the target, which is your final object. When you see your final object, your brain creates rods. If you, an example, see your final object as h8 square, yes, and then we start to draw. Okay, there is the rook's ways to h8. There is also another rook's ways to h8. There is also some another ways to h8. Yes, you start to see the road, or if you want the king goes there, you may create many different roads to h8 like this. Why is it that much important? Because yes, because you all the invisible tactics which only computer and genius can see are about that. Because your brain simply doesn't see these ways, you think only computer can do that. And in all my video, I proved this is absolutely false. This is not true. And I proved all the time we can teach it 8-year-old kid to see all of these invisible, impossible tricks. It's very easy if you implement scanning. Okay, so let's have a look at this position. This is an game, and also because of its end game, I would love to emphasize again. I never met, even as I never met, in all my life, single person who play end games well and won't become exceptional chess player. Any amazing player plays end games very well. And there are many, many, many players, so-called players, yes, who plays openings very good, yes, good openings, good tactics, yes, but they still mediocre or even very bad players. This is the truth. Like if you play in games well, you are amazing chess player. If you don't play in games well, you can play other things well, but you just don't understand chess at all. And this is modern tendency because also everyone plays quick games, bullet, blitz, rapid, and there is no much left for them games, and they don't train in games, don't play training in games, don't learn theoretical in games. The problem is in games is long-term journey. Like you learn opening and you immediately got better results. You repeat the same openings 20 times and your results are improving. And I'm better chess player now. This is fake chess player. It's not real chess player. And what happening when you learn in games? Nothing. You learn it years. You are improving, yes, but you don't see immediate results. But then finally you jump beyond of abilities to anyone who learn openings. Because if you learn in games and you finally master in games, yes, it has compounding effect. Finally, you just start to play on the level when they will never reach your level if you improve your end games. Okay, let's scan the position. So our what is our objects here? It's, of course, we notice tactical weaknesses. We notice tactical weaknesses because our tactical weaknesses often our final object. Always tactical weaknesses the king because we can attack it. These pawns are tactical weaknesses because we can attack it. This rook is also tactical weaknesses. Watch out different type of skewers. This is pass pawn has dynamic potential to move forward. This is pass pawn, tactical power. Both of them have a ability to move forward, and this is the rook, which can attack pawns from different sides and also attack king from these files. Yeah, this is. Always remember the rook explanation which I gave you in previous video, but I remind you again, rooks are like warriors with the swords, attacking from one side, interfere, block it, yes, and attacking from another side. Attacking from one side, blockade it, and attacking from another side, like this, all the time, attacking. An example, if you're attacking a rook from this side, immediately check, can you attack from another side, like this? Can you attack from this side? Can watch ability of the rook to attack from different sides all the time. Okay, and we start. So here we what is our object can be this pawn can be b7 square for the queen, can be moving this pawn, can be some skewers from this side. Also we need to ask what is defensive idea. Maybe it b7 square for the rook in some cases. Maybe just grasping this pawn and yeah, but in this situation, I usually will start more with what is his defensive idea, what is his defensive power. Maybe take this pawn and take this pawn, like run to this side, sacrifice pawn here, grasp this pawn, and then easily to defend. I assume. Then we need to, of course, we need to prevent it. If he actually runs here, we cannot win. And the first idea, of course, to cut the king. And if king moves to this side, there is also these problems for him. So if he runs to this side, there is possible skewers. Like we attack from behind this pawn, blockade it, but he cannot take it. We give check and win the rook. Need to watch the possibility to sacrifice this pawn at some point. Yes, to interfere the rook, and then anyway bring the king in to this way. But his defensive idea is to bring king here. An example, if he plays passively like king g7, it seems like absolutely nothing to do for him after just, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like I can even slowly to take pawns, yeah, and slowly win the game. And if his king is so far from this pawn, we can even take these pawns with the rooks somehow and cut the king and win with this pawn. But it's risky because many tricks possible. What else? What can we miss in this position? Basically, I assume it has to be. We need to cut the king. We need to cut the king, and he has 3 options. So king is 7. Let's check the most aggressive way to defend first. He plays this, and we attack from this side. The idea is if he takes here, we attack here. What would I do if I play black? And notice those process. I turn myself from the black side. And again, check the most aggressive lines first, h2. Counter-attack. Threatening rook takes a7. And then yeah, this idea. So probably has to take rook h2. But then activate the king d6 with idea king c5. Active king now. So the rook can come back from this side, and from this side cutting the queen with 2 possibilities to defend the pawn. Also must check, can I don't defend it and just sacrifice it, but it doesn't look correct. I assume these 2 possibilities, and what's his defensive idea? King c5 with double attack, king b6 and king c4. In both situations. Do I have any winning possibility here if after king c5 with both these situations? It seems like draw for me, but I must check maybe some tricks there. Maybe some tricks which I'm missing. But it seems like that draw with king so close to the pawns. Defend here. King b6, king f5, takes. King a6 and king d6 is winning. Yeah, rook a4, and I defend indirectly defend c4 e7, yeah. And he have no ideas, he has to stay, and this is just winning for me. King a6. No, king b6, what am I? Yeah, no, king b6. So okay. So he must find something stronger than that. This is winning. So both here. h2 is possible, but maybe king d7. With idea king c6. What changed if I take rook h3? What changed? I can take king c6 and I can come back, and again king b6, king f5, king c5, rook a4. It seems like absolutely winning. What am I missing? What is his defensive tricks? Can he defend like this, king g7? I assume I just can play king g3 and slowly win the game. Maybe in this case after e, in case I can play rook takes h3, but he plays king f7 around this side, and in case I go to this way, at the end of the variation, no rook a3. Maybe my king can blockade the rook. Let's check. In Torfer the files, right? One of the defensive tricks, king f7. King h3, he will run to this side and probably draw. Probably, I'm not sure, but I don't want to calculate. So try to calculate as less as possible. So rook h6, and his idea now, maybe still king h7. And if I take rook take h3, already king d6 and now rook h3. I still have rook h7, But then king c5, I don't have rook a4. And after rook c7, king b6. And this is already draw. Okay, nice. We found one trick. We found defensive trick. Now again, how can we refutate this trick as soon as possible? How can we win no matter what faster? I have this trick, rook g5, rook g6, rook h6, but I'm not sure h2, and no, I don't want to give this kind of way. I also have king f5, h2. Cut the shoulder the king. And it's just winning, why not? Right. Rook a6, king g7. I simply can take king f5. h2 with idea rook a7. Wait, king a6. Right. h2, rook a7. Rook a7, rook a7. What is it? Okay. Check. He cannot take rook a7. But he can play h1, but then rook takes h1. Rook a7, king a6, it's winning. I just shoulder the king. King f8, there is something, it must be. Yeah, it's winning. So what is another possibility? It's also possible to play something like g6, okay, rook a1. He cannot take, but he can play h1. h1 doesn't work. King f7 has possibility, yes, and run for this pawn. Definitely possibility. Also, king f8 seems weird, but no, it's very wrong. King f7. And what? Still cannot play h1, so king f5, king f7, king d5, king d7. Still cannot play h1, but want to play king c7. And then h1, rook a7 is drawn. Any tricks for white? So an example, this is defensive idea. Yes, this is his defensive idea, and I'm even not sure about it. Like back. And let's say king f7. Wait. Any tricks here? Right here. Any tricks here to win the game? Huh. Is it winning? Like it's he has counterplay. He wants to come back with the king and play h1. Why is it? Why should I win here? Yeah. Why I even should win here? Maybe I make mistake few moves ago, right? Yeah, maybe I can win simpler. The only way to win easier. I don't think there is another move. Like we have to. Maybe Zoot one. Prevent h2. And does the king does it go? Also this trick. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Little improving moves. And he has options. Also can take this pawn at some point. But he can run to the pawn, which is not what I want. But then check. Boom. Can I just return quickly? Seems so. Like I will take this pawn and come back to a4. Okay, look at it. this one, this one, this one. He still cannot take pawn. He cannot play h2, king c8, rook h8. No, king c8. I can c8. And if rook h7, h2. Ah, no, it's fine. There is skewer at the end, yes. Like rook h7, h2, king f5. Rook h7. Yeah, rook h7 works. Very strong. Yeah, so king in 67 c8 defensive idea also. This is not that easy. It seems like, wow, 2 pawns and the king and right versus 2 pawns and the king, of course. It's never easy. This one is also defensive idea, defending the rook from skewers. I assume rook a6 is correct, but then king g7. And what? How can I win the most precisely here? Prevent h2 with rook a2. He played king f6, and what changed? How did we improve? Can I just play c5, c6? No. Can I play king g3? King f7, yeah. King g5. What did that mean? Why not king f5? h2. This. His idea is to push this pawn and bring him back. How can I prevent it? It's in a very simple way with no counterplay. So I can play rook e2, obviously. I can play king c3, obviously. I can take this pawn and yeah, which looks correct, but he plays king f7. Rook h6. King e7. No, then rook h3, a3, e4. It's winning. Rook h6. I feel I'm missing something simple. Like g7. No, rook h3 is winning. e7, rook h3 is winning. And back here. Why I'm overthinking here? Just take this pawn, right? No, wait. Rook h2, what? Rook a1. Oh, maybe rook g6. Ah, rook 6 or 7. How did just a solve it's really king f5 h2, not king f7? This one, and then king f7. Okay, now it's clear. But wait, rook h1, rook h7, rook h2. Can I just cut him? He cannot play king e7 exactly now. There is rook a4 pin. There is the pin I have to defend pawn, and he has time to activate his pin, yeah, and bring it back. So his idea to play king e7. If I play back, he can't come back. What is my improvement with rook later? What is my progress? Yeah, he cannot push h2, but I also don't see any benefits from it. What if I take this pawn with the check? It simply doesn't work in this way. Okay, that's good. We have less options. Rook a6, logical, king g7. What am I missing? Maybe somewhere the idea to push pawn here and rook here. Not really where, but 2 pawns on 7th rank and rook on b8. h2, I should play immediately. I have to play, if I play king g3 as I wanted, then he runs back this side. Rook h6. He can play king g7. Yeah, rook h3, rook h7. Doesn't look nice for me. How would they play in real game? Definitely rook h6, king g7. Want to make it simple. And then king f5, logical, h2. Rook a1, logical move, but king f7. Yeah, it seems strongest line right now, which I see. But what is the winning trick here? Can it run back to this pawn by anyway? No, she will sack the pawns. Activate the king. Or not. So can I play king f4? Doesn't look correct. Like king f6 and my king so far. No, she just take. Yeah. I still can play rook a4. In b6. After rook a7, c5, king b7, c6, king b6. Not clear. Not. Yeah, the question is, can I come back with the take this pawn with the king? Yeah, let's calculate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Too much. Right? She take the pawn. And, yeah, too long. She take the pawn and 1, 2. Yeah, he has 6 moves and it's a position. I have 7 moves just to reach 5. It's too much. So yeah, rook a6, king g7. I don't see anything bad on the surface. Maybe rook a2, Zugzwang, to ask him where does he want to play. He can push h2 actually. He can push h2, h2, b7, b6, king d7. Rook a6. Is it not winning? If king is bad, rook is passive. I have c pawn. It doesn't look correct. At very least, I don't want to check it, and rook can attack from this side and from, yeah, I don't want to check it. It's too risky. Unless I eliminated all the simple ways. In f5, h2. And I don't see win. What is the simplest way to reach? Finally, I want to put rook on a4. Take this pawn and put rook on a4. So my outcome to take this pawn and bring rook back to a4. Then it's winning. How can I reach it? I know the result is the end. I'm doing this and bring my rook here to defend both pawns. Not from this side, it's draw. Only rook on a4 is winning. Sometimes can consider rook on a5, a new fortress for that. on my pieces. Sometimes consider rook there. Oh, wait, if I want to put rook on a4 and just take this pawn, his king on g7 is too far, not? Like rook a6, king g7, king g3. He can play h2, it does nothing. Like I will come back. He can play king f7, I take king h3. He can play king f7, I go to king g3. He can play king d7, I go king f4. He can play king c7, I already take on f5. Play b7, I play rook e4, rook e7. Okay, it's simple. Yeah, b6, d6. Okay, now it's simple. b7, d6 also winning. One of the three questions. Okay, breath out. Rook e6, king g7. And now king g3. Boom. This is simple. So when we reach outcome, so final position, and pay attention, I could solve this puzzle easily only after I knew final position only after I qualified. Okay, I want to have my rook on a4, yes, and I win the game. Only after I qualified, I could find simple solution. But by the way, remember, the moment you stop, refute your ideas, you lose that game. As well in chess and as well as in life, the more you attach to your crazy ideas, the more you have problems because many of them won't work as hard truth for you. Okay, so rook a6, king g7, and some king g3. Maybe he can play this and this way, but then we have rook h6, and then yeah, king d7, rook h3, king c8. The idea, but it doesn't work. Just it's I mean millions ways to win. What else? King g3, checking king f7, king h3, king e7, king g3, king d7, king f4, king c7, king f5, king b7, back a4, takes, e6, d6, really. Okay. She plays king e7, which I wasn't worried at all because now rook h6, h2 doesn't work. I simply take, and king d6, rook a2, king c5, rook a4, king b6, king f5, takes, king a6, king b6, king d6. This is I saw from the beginning, and I thought king g7 is the most challenging line. Oops, king g3 still. What I've done wrong? What I've done wrong? King g3, but king g3, king d7, king g3, king c7, king g3, king b7, rook a4. No, it's draw. No, absolutely draw. Wow, this is interesting. I missed something nice here. King g3 doesn't work, right? He just run away. King f5. I mean, king f5 and h2. Rook h6. Just rook a7. What am I missing? Rook a2. But this sounds wrong, like king f6. This is interesting. This is very interesting. d5, d7, d5, c7. What's his idea? It's weird. It's strange, yeah. It's very strange. Like it seems like it's simplest way to win. King g3, king d7. Then rook h6. No, it doesn't work. Cannot work. King h3, king c7. g3, b7. takes. I mean, it's draw. Okay. What did I miss? G5, rook a5, but I checked it eventually, and this it gives counterplay. Rook h3, rook h3 idea. No, he simply can take this pawn. Wow. And it's just 2809. Like, what? I mean, it's the most logical move in the position, and I don't see any refutation. What did I miss? What is his defensive idea after rook h6? Maybe I missed king d7, rook h3, king c6, rook h3, and not king c5, king b6. No, king f5. Takes. King s6, and this winning. d6, d6, b7, also d6, fine. Huh. This is where I absolutely don't see defensive idea for him. Even I know there's defensive idea. What did I miss? h2, just tag. d6. Sure. King c6, b7, and open the rook. No, I cannot play a8 anymore. And my king is too close. Oh, I simply play a8 anymore. Also, rook f8, king 8. Really? No, but I have this pawn. How can it work? Like rook h3, king b7, rook h3, king c7. Okay, 3, king b7, king f5, rook f8, king b5. Yeah, you can play king a8, but it's nonsense. Is it? How am I going to win this position? Is it true? Is it really nonsense? So I have no win there. How can I improve this? I have A and C pawn. How can I improve this position? His king blockades and active rook. He will give checks and always tell my ideas with this. And if I move, it's draw. Wow, it's draw. Wow, these two pawns and king on a8 is draw. Wow, this is hard. And I mean, it's not 28 or 9. Definitely not. It's computer is bullshitting us. Like king a8, rook f8 check, and king a8. This is draw. I assume I will check with the computer. So now we know his idea to give check and bring king to a8, and then draw from these sides or these sides, or second the rook here, and this is stalemate, or even attacking this pawn at some point. I mean, this is hard. It's easy to see, but it's easy to see. Never say it hard to see. You block your brain. It's very easy to see, but I mean, I simply missed it. Okay, if you know this is defensive idea to give check and bring king to a8. How can we prevent it? King g3, d7, h3, c7 is just draw. And what am I trying to get? C5 will be 6, king d7, but it's still draw. C8. Now, what is the simplest way to win? I'm checking just bad ways. What is the simplest way to win? Can it be something c5, rook a5, and king go for the pawn slowly? No, king b7. Rook a7. b6, b6, yeah, it doesn't matter. No. Maybe there is some points I see. No, I am overcomplicating things, definitely. Simplest way, like rook h6, rook g6 candidate moves. Rook a2 candidate move. Rook a3 must make most sense. Rook a3, rook h3 idea. h2, let's say. But then rook h3 takes rook h7. What am I trying to do? It's just that draw. The king is cut it. Can they just take this pawn? h2, rook h6. Rook a7. It seems like that draw. Just don't get to it. I mean, he wants to play h2 active defense. Rook h6 is the most logical move. Rook a2 and come back to a4. Rook swerte, I give him activated king. King e5, blockade d6. h2, rook a6, h6, rook a7, check, king d8, take, but is, I mean, it's just theoretical draw. Rook a6 is Philidor position. What am I missing? What am I missing? Like, I mean, it seems like rook h6 is not winning, but is I even don't see another move. Wow, I'm already a little reaction. Now that I need to calm down my mind. Yeah, let me think for in silence for a few seconds, for a few minutes, and I will give you the solution. Probably, not sure. This is tricky. When you think in silence, of course, you think in silence. You don't verbalize moves or anything, but you simply see moves without any thinking. Well, like you need to be skillful to direct your mind with thoughts process, with the questions, with the right questions to narrow down your focus, but also be skillful to just see moves without verbalization in your mind. It will speed up the thoughts process 5-10 times. Try it with me. Oh, seriously? No, it doesn't work. I thought about the idea, where the idea, okay, 3, h2, h1, okay, 1. Now he cannot play h1 and cannot play rook e7, but he can play king d6, an example, and it seems very wrong. Yeah. Logical move is like, what is the logical move more? Like, play rook h6 to take in f5. Which strip did I miss? What did I miss here after h2? Maybe, maybe just come back from this side. D6. E4. C5. D3. Oh, this is H1. Why is it not draw? I have to take. It takes on A7. Why is it not draw? It's absolutely draw. Absolutely draw. Yeah, right. No. I'm trying to create some fantasy instead of finding simple way. This is not good habit. I have to come back my mind to find something simple. Can you, I mean, logically, king e5 prevents king d6 in the future. It looks weird, but it prevents king d6. And my idea is to go for the pawn. Like king e5, let's check. Well, why didn't I see it for so long? h2. He has f4, he has h2. Let's say he plays h2. What am I going to do? On h6, he can take. Why is it not that draw? It's that draw. It's just that draw. Okay, one. Yeah, maybe too much attachment to defend from that side. But then at 4 not. Deploy the king on king d6. d5 with idea here. That one here. d7. He prevents it. c5 with idea here, c7. Now he is close to b7. b5 with idea a6, b7. c5. Rook a7, c6, king b8. And nothing. But king d5, king d7, c6. Now, if my king is from this side, and he takes this pawn, I can play c6, king b8. I can play takes, king d6. But I mean, if I don't take this pawn, how is it? How can it work? But this is idea. If I can keep pawns in here, at the end of the variation, I can trade and just help the king promoted if I win this pawn also. But it's crazily hard, by the way. It's crazily hard. e5. h2, I want to play h6, yes. Maybe. But it's also draw like a7. Yeah, it's also draw. King just front of the pawn. It's just that draw. No, my idea was to play here. Okay, one. f4. My idea would to play c5 maybe, f3. It has dynamic potential of the pawns. c6 blocking d7 now. f2. His king is cut. And this can use it somehow. But it seems very wrong with this two pawn. Very wrong. And I'm overcomplicating things again. So this pawn is saving me from the check and king a8. Can I just don't take it? Can I just don't take it? Also, this king is rather here. Rook g6 another candidate idea, but it looks very, very weird. What is even the point? Like you're not blocking this pawn and does nothing. A2, I don't see improvement. I don't see any improvement here. Maybe his idea to break king g3, but king is active, which it looks horrible. I mean, I'm starting to check something which is absolutely nonsense. This is normal elimination process, and we eliminate. But maybe the idea is defensive trick, not like defensive trick was this, but I even not sure about this. Like king d7, the idea is with which trick in c6. Now, what did I want? Like, I wanted to play king f5 maybe in c7. H3, check, and move with b7, and it looks like draw. Okay, 3 king 8. Yeah, this is defensive idea. Okay, we accept it. This is defensive idea. Then how to prevent it? Okay, I'm very close to resign because it's too slow. I'm thinking too long for this puzzle. Like I mean, for myself, I want to think more, but for the video, it's just too much. Like people won't watch so long videos. But by the way, it's the most beneficial because the real puzzle solving started now, where when you're stuck and you don't know what to do, you need to find something absolutely new, not based on your pattern recognition, but based on the new patterns which you never saw before. Something absolutely new. Oh, I. Ah, no, it doesn't work. I thought it's just another. I saw this fortress, yes, but I checked, but I didn't check this simple fortress and never can stay on b7. But it works. It works after king g3. King d7, c5, king c7, c6 over. Yeah, I mean, yeah, king g3. c5, king c7, c6. I didn't check this. I mean, this is the basic thing. You need to check all pawn structures, all pawn or possible pawn structures. But it's very hard to see this without knowing idea, like king b7, king a8, rook f8 check. Yeah, it's very hard to see because basically rook h8 is not winning because only the idea king b7, king a8, rook f8. And if I don't see defensive idea, I can't figure out. I need to blockade king from b7. Wow. A nice one, by the way. Let's check with the engine. I think rook e6, king e7. I think king g7, but it's simply not correct. Or king g3, yes, king f7, h3, king f7, and also c5, c6 here is possibility to win. But I thought this one is, did not I miscalculate it? I miscalculated. It's only winning idea c5, c6. Here I assumed it's win. It's already drawn the same way it's drawn, because I missed this opportunity in both ways. Yeah, I thought play this and he cannot do anything with these pawns because pawn ending is losing. But the main defensive trick is king b6, rook a4, etc. In all the variations, by the way. Yeah, now if I push c6, he can simply take rook takes c6. Of course, not from this side, or from this side, right? I like an example: rook h8, c6, rook h6, king d5, rook takes c6. It's just all computers idea. This is more precise because with the check. It's a 4 rook c6. Okay, great. This is quite nice because this is theoretically important. These types of findings are always safe. And always check, can you free, this is, by the way, one of the main defensive idea in rook endgames, like you always check, can you remove your rook and put that in. Okay, and finally, the winning idea were, to find winning idea, it was necessary to find this idea. And the winning idea requires simple. We simply put the pawn on the c6 square where, and now it's just fortress. He cannot break in b7, and it's simply winning. Yeah, it's simply winning. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video and learn more in games. Don't be stupid as me. Yeah, even I know this trick, like free the rook and put him to blockade. I just could not. Initially, I missed the idea these two pawns can simply be drawn. Yes, and this is quite nice. And then I missed this simple idea for quite a long time. But this is the most valuable things which we are missing. Because if we are missing these things, opponents also are missing them. And okay, thank you so much for watching this video. And finally, my favorite part of the video is a pitch, and my prices are $30 per hour till September. From September is $50 per hour, and also our community price is $97 per hour, and you get access to the my brain first show, and also to our affiliate program. You invite your friends, share your wins, share your content, our content, invite your friends to join, work together, and you can get 30% from their payments till they stay with us. So monthly fees $97, and 30% is, if I remember correct, $29.11. I need to check it because I always say if I remember correctly. So thank you so much for watching this video. Keep growing, keep glowing. And thanks bye from Cambodia. Stop sharing the screen. Okay, bye bye.